What if I told you that deep in your blood, coiled within your very bones, there is a memory of war? That your body, as it stands right now, carries the genetic echo of warriors who once fought tooth and nail just to survive? Long before alarm clocks, emails, and deadlines, men didn't wake up to scroll. They woke up to survive. They fought, hunted, defended, built. And when the time came, they lifted. Heavy stones, logs, weapons, they're fallen. Not because it was a hobby, but because if they didn't, they died. That same instinct lives inside of you. It's dormant, but it's not gone. Welcome back to the channel where we dive deep into the forgotten truths of masculinity, purpose, and power. If you're new here, hit that subscribe button and join a community of men committed to rising above mediocrity. Because this channel isn't for the weak-hearted. It's for the ones ready to become warriors in a world that's tried to tame them. Today's topic might just change how you see your body forever. Why every man should lift. In ancient Sparta, a man who didn't train was considered a disgrace. In fact, Spartan boys were taken from their mothers at age 7 to begin a brutal training known as the agoge, a system designed not just to build strength, but to forge men into weapons. Every aspect of their lives was about discipline, pain, endurance, and the results? Spartans didn't just fight wars, they became the war. Fast forward to today, and most men struggle to carry a grocery bag without wheezing. What happened? You weren't born to sit behind a screen all day. You weren't made to shrink into your chair, scrolling through the highlights of stronger men while your own strength rots away. Your body was meant to lift, not for vanity, but for victory. Because lifting is not just about muscle. It's about reclaiming what modernity has stolen from you. Power, presence, and peace. Consider this. A man who lifts builds more than muscle. He builds testosterone, discipline, mental clarity. Lifting increases dopamine, lowers cortisol, improves sleep, and even boosts your ability to focus under pressure. It is, in a very real sense, a modern ritual of masculine restoration. Every time you grip a barbell, you're not just training your biceps. You're silencing the voice in your head that says, "You're not enough." But the gym is more than steel and sweat. It's a sacred forge. The place where your excuses are melted down and recast into commitment. Where your softness is beaten into strength. It's where a boy enters, and a man, sometimes broken, often bleeding, walks out stronger, and maybe, just maybe, more complete. Think of David Goggins. This man was obese, spraying for cockroaches, living on donuts and self-pity. But something clicked. He began to run, to lift, to bleed. And as the fat melted, so did the lies. The lie that said he'd always be weak. The lie that said he'd never be a man of impact. Today, he's one of the toughest endurance athletes on the planet. Not because of genetics, but because of grit forged in the fire of pain. That fire, you can step into it any day. It's waiting for you. You don't need ancient Sparta to learn this. Walk into any serious gym, and you'll find a kind of modern brotherhood. Not of privilege or softness, but of shared suffering. The kind of quiet nods men give each other after a brutal set. No words, just understanding. Because deep down we all feel it. The hunger to reclaim our edge. In a society that celebrates softness, the man who lifts becomes dangerous. And in a world filled with passive men, a dangerous man is rare. A dangerous man is needed. But maybe you're thinking, I'm too late. You've got a desk job, a bad back, a million excuses. Let me tell you a story. There was a man named Jack LaLanne. You might know him as the godfather of fitness. But what you don't know is that he was a sickly, sugar-addicted kid with rage issues. Until at 15, he heard a lecture that changed his life. He began lifting, building his body into a machine. At 70 years old, he swam shackled and handcuffed while towing 70 boats across a harbor. Read that again. 70. At 70, you are not too late. The enemy isn't your age, your job, your injuries. The real enemy is inertia, the resistance, that quiet whisper that says, start tomorrow. But tomorrow is the graveyard where dreams go to die. Every day you delay, you feed that voice. Every day you lift, you kill it. Slowly, repeatedly, relentlessly. There's no version of yourself. no future timeline where becoming weaker made life better. No success story begins with, "And then I stopped taking care of my body." Weakness never brings peace. It only invites pain. But strength changes everything. When you lift, you carry yourself differently. You speak more boldly. Your posture changes. You make eye contact. You walk into a room and people notice, not because of vanity, but because energy doesn't lie. You've trained yourself to show up, not just at the gym, but for your family, your dreams, your life. And there's something primal, almost spiritual, about overcoming weight. Iron doesn't care how you feel. It doesn't care about your anxiety, your breakup, your missed promotion. It's pure, uncompromising. And in a world full of gray areas, lifting gives you something absolute. Did you get it up or not? That honesty, that brutality, it sharpens you. Lifting gives you back what school, society, and comfort tried to take: agency. You realize slowly that no one's coming to save you, that your pain is your responsibility, that no man ever became strong without suffering. And that suffering, if you lean into it, becomes sacred. So the question is, will you? The moment you say yes, truly, deeply yes, to becoming stronger, you wake up something ancient inside you, something sacred. You stop being just a man and you become a builder of your body, of your mind, of your destiny. It starts with a dumbbell, but it doesn't end there. Because the man who lifts learns quickly, if I can change this, maybe I can change anything. Lifting becomes the gateway drug to transformation. You start showing up for your workouts, and suddenly you're showing up for your life, your goals, your business, your relationships. You say no to things that waste your time. You speak with more intention. You start attracting respect, not because you're demanding it, but because you're becoming it. Every rep is a small revolution. And one day, you look in the mirror and realize the man you always wanted to be is no longer a fantasy. He's real, and he's staring back at you. But let's go deeper. Why really should every man lift? Because we are not just physical beings. We are spiritual, emotional, moral, and nothing exposes your weakness like a barbell. You can lie to your boss, your girlfriend, your friends, but you cannot lie to iron. It's the most honest mirror you'll ever face. It demands effort, pain, grit, and in return, it gives you clarity. In the teachings of Stoic philosophers like Marcus Aurelius, strength and discipline were not vanity, they were virtue. The Stoics believed that training the body was training the will. Lifting is the physical practice of mental toughness. You push through discomfort, and you grow. You break yourself down to build yourself back better. That is life. That is manhood. But what happens when men forget this? Look around. A generation addicted to comfort. Bored, anxious, aimless. We swipe endlessly, yet we're lonelier than ever. We consume, but never create ourselves. We avoid pain, but in doing so, we multiply it. Depression, obesity, suicide, all on the rise. And no one's saying it, but here's the truth. A strong man is harder to kill. A strong man is harder to control. A strong man doesn't just survive, he leads. So when a man lifts, he's not just chasing aesthetics. He's resurrecting a part of himself this world tried to bury. A part that knows how to endure, how to fight, how to protect, and most importantly, how to transform. There is no personal development without resistance, and iron is resistance in its purest form. And make no mistake, lifting is war. Not with others, but with the weaker version of yourself. Every workout is a confrontation. You against the voice that says, I'm tired, I can't, I'll skip today. And every time you lift anyway, you win. You forge the mental armor needed to face the chaos of life. The heartbreak, the failure, the setbacks. Because let me tell you, life will test you. You will lose people. You will be betrayed. You will suffer. And when that moment comes, your six-pack won't save you, but your discipline will. That's what lifting really is. A dress rehearsal for suffering, controlled adversity, And it's through this voluntary suffering that you inoculate yourself against life's involuntary pain. You become a fortress, not hard and cruel, but solid, dependable, rooted. And that strength, others feel it. Your woman feels safer. Your children stand taller. Your presence starts to calm chaos instead of adding to it. Because real masculinity isn't loud. It's not flashy. It's steady. It's quiet power. And when you lift, you build that brick by brick, set by set. You may never be a warrior on the battlefield, but you can be a warrior in your home, in your workplace, in your spirit. And that begins with saying, I will lift, I will rise, I will become what I was born to be. Still not convinced? Then hear this. Studies have shown that resistance training is linked to lower rates of depression, anxiety, even cognitive decline. It boosts confidence, improves posture, and increases resilience to stress. But deeper than science is this simple fact. When a man sees himself change, when he feels strength returning to his frame, he remembers who he is, and more importantly, who he could be. And yes, the journey is hard. You'll want to quit. You'll fail. You'll ache. But each failure is fuel. Each ache is growth. Each moment you don't quit becomes proof that you are becoming dangerous again. Dangerous to mediocrity. Dangerous to weakness. Dangerous to the version of you that almost gave up. So what do you do now? You begin. Today. Not next week. Not when you feel like it. You go into that gym or that garage or that patch of dirt in your backyard and you pick something heavy up. You sweat, you suffer, you push, and tomorrow you do it again, because every warrior needs a weapon. And the barbell, that's yours. In a world drowning in comfort and fear, your strength can be your rebellion, your daily training, your silent protest. A man who lifts becomes a man who leads. And the world doesn't need more followers. It needs you. So are you ready to remember who you are? Train like a warrior. Lift like your life depends on it. Because in a way, it does.